Hello and welcome back to the Monsters of Monster Hunter Double Cross, where today we're taking on Silverwind Nargacuga. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a doozy. We'll be fine. Well, not really. Silverwind Nargacuga is one of the monsters that I tend to not do so well against, at least in G rank, because it gets a little bit of nonsense going on with its spikes. But if nothing else, I do have bleed res right now, so at least it won't be bleeding me. Because that's kind of its thing. That actually isn't a bad set of skills to get. So yeah, let's go ahead and use a gourmet voucher. I've got plenty. And that way we can guarantee ourselves the ability to dodge without using as much stamina, as well as insurance. I forget what the dodging thing is. Forget what it's called. Feline acrobat, maybe? Maybe. Though, no, I think that's the one where you get up faster. I don't even remember. But I can read what it does, and that's what matters for me. So yeah, we're going to be here in Amatsu's house, which is always interesting, fighting things that aren't Amatsu here. One of these days I'll manage to clear a quest that doesn't involve Amatsu and that takes place up here, and we'll get to see whether or not the weather stops. Maybe that day will be today, but I doubt it. This is a pretty small Silverwind Narga. Yeah, Silverwind Nargas are basically like regular Nargas, but they get more clever with their spikes. And you'll note that the spikes don't choose a target until they actually reach the apex of their trajectory, which is kind of silly. Kind of like really silly. And in addition to getting more clever with their spikes, they also can do sonic booms with their tails. And the spikes and tails alike can cause, well, spikes and sonic booms alike, can cause bleeds, which are never pleasant under any circumstances. Which is why I've got bleed res, so that I don't get bled. It's especially important against Silverwind Narga because it's got a couple moves that are guaranteed bleeds if they hit. And they may have given us sonic bombs, but they're not nearly as helpful against Silverwind Narga as regular Nargas, because they don't go into that stance as often. Though of course it had to go into it as I was saying the sentence. They're also not guaranteed to get you an enrage against Silverwind Narga, as I was saying in the last episode. Like, when this guy leaves rage, we could just use a sonic bomb just to show that. Though I need to survive until then. Carding right now would be embarrassing. Consider me embarrassed. Hey, at least this is one of those quests where the deviant we want starts off here, so we at least get to see it. And I mean, in terms of looks, just take a regular Nargacuga, make it so that its tail is always spiked up, and give it lighter blue fur and some white stripes. And that's what we've got. Well, not so much white as like kind of cream colored. I feel like they could have gone further with the striping and had it look kind of neat. Ow. I hate that attack. If you're in front of the Narga, it doesn't actually knock you over with the first tail sweep. And if you get hit by the first and then hit by the second, if you somehow don't die, you're almost guaranteed to be stunned. So just all around unenviable situation. So yeah, let's go ahead and use this just to show that it won't necessarily piss off a Silverwind. See, look, it's not angry. But if we hit it like once or twice more, it will be. Oh, I'm sorry. 3 times more. Oh boy. I hate that attack so much. We got a little lucky there that it decided to use the tail sweep from that side instead of the other side. So I really hate that the spikes don't choose where to go until they reach their apex, because it means that if a spike has been launched out, you can't guarantee that you'll be able to heal because, yeah, they don't choose where they're going until they hit the apex of their little launch. Which means that even if you change direction after they come out, you can't heal until they've decided where they want to land. I will say that as much as I hate the spikes, like if you got rid of those, I feel like Silverwind Nargacuga would be a really good deviant. Like, it's one of those deviants that just takes everything that the main species had and just pumps it up. Like, most deviants do that, but some just get completely new stuff, like Grimclaw Tigrex, and it's causing tremors and stuff, and dang it, I really didn't do too well on that, right? Like, the fact that Grimclaw Tigrex can pound the ground and cause, like, explosions of steam to pop up, that's kind of silly and not really justified, but, like, regular Nargacuga cracking its tail so hard that it creates a sonic boom. That's a thing, though how the sonic boom causes bleeds and travels forward in the way that it does is questionable. And even the way it launches its spikes and those cause bleeds, that makes sense. Like, this is a Nargacuga that behaves like a Nargacuga and is just regular Nargacuga, but more. Whereas, like, Hellblade gets blast out of nowhere. And suddenly it gets blast powder to charge up its throat. Like, the fact that it completely gains an element that it didn't have before is kind of weird. Not an element, but like, you know what I mean. It didn't have blast powder before. And like, the Deviant Mizutsune getting its arms and tail fur to be super hard is weird, because like, it's fur. And also the color scheme on Silverwind Narga isn't hugely different. Like, friggin' the Argyros that we're gonna see in a few minutes here is like, okay, so you go from being blue and brown to black and red? How? I guess the red's like supposed to be the blood of its enemies or something, but too many monsters use that explanation for why they have red things. Like, ooh, the Rust Duramboros. That's not brown coloration from dirt or anything. No, it's the dried blood of its foes. Oh, Sandbarioth. No, that red coloration it's got on its face isn't just its shell color. It uses its tusks to pierce the hides of its foes and uses their blood to help keep it cool in the desert. And that's why it's got a red face, because that's the blood of its enemies. And even the Deviant Diablos, the blue coloration it has, oh yeah, that's the blood of its enemies. So I guess it must really hate freaking Carapaceons, because the crabs are the only things in this series that have blood that's even remotely bluish. Silverwind Narga, like, it's a more lightly colored Nargacuga with some white streaks. Like, that could easily be explained by, oh, it's just old. That's why it knows how to use its stuff more effectively. That's why it's better able to spike its spikes into you and cause bleeds. It's learned how to do that over its time on this earth. It's not like, oh, this white is the blood of its enemies. Like, the only thing that isn't really justified is those spikes choosing their targets after being launched. Because, like, no matter how smart this thing is, there's no way it can predict our moves to that extent. Like, it'd be cool if they tracked where we were going, and so we'd have to change direction in order to give them the shake, but you can't change direction until after they've decided where to go. And that was a time where if I had had a Sonicon out, it wouldn't have mattered because it's actually enraged right now. Ow. Seriously, I managed to get onto the wrong side of the tail like twice during that knockdown. Yeah, that shouldn't have hit me. Like, logically. There's no way the Nargacuga could have known I would be where I just was when it launched the spike. But since the spike chose to target me at the peak of its thing, I took the hit. That's one I destroyed. Not that we can destroy the other. Well, I guess we can destroy an eye on the other Narga, because there will be another one in this quest. Though we are due for a bear at any moment now. But I'd really like to get rid of this Narga first, because Silverwind Nargas left to their own devices can be problematic, because then you'll just get a rain of spikes on you. And I don't like rains of spikes. I don't even like drizzlings of spikes. Nor mists of spikes, or really anythings of spikes, other than absences of spikes or other synonyms thereof. I like my nice spike-free weather. Okay, I managed to go under the tail. And there's our bear. Unfortunate that it had to notice us right away. We might have been able to clear out to the other side of the arena and avoid having it join us for a little bit. And before I take a spike. Thankfully, the bear isn't hugely dangerous by itself. It will be annoying to have it adding to our worries here, but unless I get sat on like that, it won't matter too much. But hey, we got the tail injured. Well, I am going to need to work my way away from this wall. I've learned firsthand that those bears are more than capable of killing me against walls. Seriously, Narga, do you have to jump half the arena away? Seems a bit overkill to me. Ow. Seemed like a good time to do this. Alright, now we can get some health. But then actually go to the item box so that we can get these. And get some more health from this as well. And then, while that tops us off, we'll go ahead and drink one of these. Because stamina was becoming a very large concern just there. And I prefer when stamina is not a concern. Oh, I don't have flashes. That's great. Should have thought to bring them. Why did I go to the sonic bombs as I saw the Nargacuga roaring? Roaring? Raging. Roaring. Freaking saying two words at the same time still has never worked. Incidentally, Silverwind Nargacuga does have an additional means of getting a sparkly from it that regular Nargas do not have. And it is severing their tails. And I guess that's to make up for the fact that they don't enter the stance from which they can be sonicked very often. Nice jump, bear. Thanks for not managing to tremor me until after I finish sharpening. Ow. Ow. Oh, great. We've got no cats right now. Time for some of this, then. I really wish that shaking of the tail counted as being in a stance. But no. It wouldn't be that easy. They couldn't let it be that easy. Oh, it would have been nice if I got at least one hit there. Ow. Stupid bear. Just gonna give this guy some poop because bears don't like poop. It's not gonna do anything for us. Just got us a fun little flinch animation. But sometimes fun little animations are reason enough to do things. Like using a sonic bomb on a swimming Plesioth in this game. Because, unlike in Freedom Unite, it doesn't always jump out of the water after being sonicked, nor does it even always enrage after being sonicked. It just does its fun little jump animation. It's a silly little flinch. Thanks, bear. I was definitely looking for a hug right there. Yeah, I wanted a hug then, too. Couldn't you tell? I mean, I'm sure that's exactly why you gave me a hug right then. You knew that there's no time I would rather be hugged than when a Silverwind Nargacuga is knocked down in front of me. And I need those hugs because I just feel so bad for what I'm doing to the Nargacuga that any form of consolation is welcome. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Ow. Ow. Yeah, that's what I meant by that attack. The first hit doesn't flinch you, so the second hit then hits you and does massive damage and will almost always leave you stunned. And being stunned gets you dead like I just got. Dead. So we are allowed one more cart. I'm probably not going to beat this quest. I honestly don't expect to. I do poorly enough with Silverwind Nargacugas by themselves that, yeah, this one with the bear friend is probably going to manage to kill me one more time. Like, one of these two monsters will probably score at least one more kill on me. And then I'm going to have to fight the stronger Silverwind without dying. And that's not going to happen. I wish I had something to separate these two, but my cats are dead, and I'm about to be. If I had remembered to bring flashes, it might be a slightly different story, but even so. Seriously though, the spike launches and that double spin thing are both ridiculous. Oh, hey. We didn't get the tail though, that makes me sad. I want to get my carves, but I also don't want to get bared. Good, he's going for the cats. Alright, all carves got. Now, if I had been able to focus on the Silverwind by itself, I'm sure I would have gotten the tail. But alas, there was this bear here. Yeah, it was pretty much him hugging me during the knockdown, I'm sure, is what prevented me getting the tail. If it weren't for that, the tail probably would have been mine. But hey, maybe we'll get the tail on the next Narga before we fail the quest. Because I am almost certain that we're failing the quest. We're 2 carts down, and 1 out of 3 monsters down. And that's 2 carts out of 4. So, admittedly not as bad as 2 carts normally is, but I know my abilities and I know how often I die to the Silverwind Nargas. And it's usually more than once. Especially when I've got nowhere to run and I'm running out of free healing. Darn you and your 5th swipe. Seriously, running through me to get to the cats? Jerk move, bear. It would be nice if I managed to finish this quest, though, because I need to break this bear's mohawk, because I am 1 G-rank red hair away from being able to actually freaking upgrade my red helm axe, like, once. Because I have yet to get an upgrade on that thing into G-rank. Because I have yet to actually get the red hair I need. It's been avoiding me, despite the fact that I've broken the hair on nearly every red helm I've fought in G-rank. But hey, that's how the desire sensor goes. It's not even a great axe, I just want to make it to have it. Same with most of the deviant weapons. I just want to have them, because they're special. Like, I could care less about using most of them. But having them, that's different. I could hardly care less about most of them. That's the more accurate turn of phrase. Saying I could care less is saying that I do care. But saying that you could hardly care less, now that's saying that caring is not a thing you really do. Here, have a stinky time. Unfortunately, that flinch doesn't last terribly long. Certainly not long enough to sharpen. Ow. Uh-oh. Oh, thank you for not deciding to kill me there. I'll go ahead and get out of your hair for a bit. Because I need health and sharpness. So let's fix the sharpness bit now. Might as well have a sushi fish since we're immune to bleeds. Alright, let's get back to that bear and hopefully we can kill it quick, because we will probably be fighting the clock on the second Narga. That is, if we aren't fighting our own cart counter. Ooh, close. Still need to bust up that mohawk. Ooh, he's tired. Him being tired presents a great opportunity to get in mohawk hits. Ow. I realized I was saying red hair earlier, but it's rage hair is the rare thing. The thing from breaking his mohawk. So I need whatever the G-rank version of rage hair is. Well, thanks for breaking me out of that stun, I guess. You could have just not put me into it. Would have been all the same to me, except for that I would have more health. So really, it would have been much preferred. Okay, why'd you run over there? Dang it. Had I jumped a little sooner, he would have actually gotten to vault. But being tired, he sure isn't doing a lot of I'm tired animations. And now he's enraged. Yeah, he only did the I'm tired thing once towards the start. But I guess high-level deviants are like that. Ow. Thanks, cat. Alright, well this knockdown ought to serve for us breaking his hair. If he's still got a mohawk at the end of this, I will be surprised. Or maybe less surprised because we got moved away from actually hitting the mohawk. Well, he hasn't got a life, but he has got a mohawk, so that didn't go well. And we're going to have a little bit less than half of our total time to deal with this last Silverwind. Unfortunately, this last Silverwind is going to have more health. And it's actually quite a bit less than half our total time. It should be enough for us to deal with it, as long as we don't spend too much time running and healing. But, yeah. We need to not cart twice. And we need to be at least somewhat aggressive if we want to actually bring it down. And we need that bear to hurry up and leave. Gonna have less than 20 minutes to deal with it. Shoo. Go away, bear. There we go. Oh, hi. Thank you, cat. You know, I actually kind of liked the brief time where there was no music more than hearing this again. I honestly prefer Kezu's theme to this theme. Partially because Kezu's theme doesn't get overplayed. Whereas there are 17 different monsters that play this theme regardless of what location they're fought in. That's just a few too many for my tastes. Ha! Shame we don't have the sharpness. That could have been great, but instead it was just amusing. Ow. Gotta get this weapon put away. Alright. Step 1 done. Now we need to sharpen it. Unfortunately, we've got no cats right now. So let's help them come back. Ow. Definitely health negative for that exchange, but thanks to that health horn, we became health positive, though we just lost it by trying to sharpen when we really shouldn't have. And already one of the cats we got back is gone. Let's go ahead and use this. That way we'll be able to heal and sharpen for sure. Need to not remember. Need to, yes, remember. Need to not forget to grab that extra Farcaster and we'll sharpen up while letting our cats do a little bit of healing up, because, yeah, they both died pretty quick. Okay, Narga, it's you and me. Really should have run to the other side. Wouldn't have had to go as far out of my way to avoid the thing, because they are tilted in such a manner that if you run towards the side that the tail was sweeping from, you get to go under rather than around the thing. And hey, we got one of those knockdowns. Still do want to sever the tail, though. Severing the tail serves another benefit. It makes the sonic booms smaller. Thank goodness we rolled through that. Iframes are a hell of a thing. Ow. Okay, I need health. I need this Narga to decide to give me a chance to get it. This works. Thank goodness it targeted my cat on both of those, because I would have taken a hit going for a tier. Really wish it didn't have to kill my heal cat so fast, though, because I like having extra heals. Of course, this cat can also put on that healing mask thing, which is nice. It's just not quite the same as a true health horn. True health horn is very nice. Especially because True Health Horn also gives me SP mode, not that that matters when I have Dash Juice up. But when I don't have Dash Juice, SP is very, very useful. Thank goodness for short-range roars, huh? Uh-oh. Well, if I was not bleed immune, that would have been an auto-bleed. Good plan, cat. And I'm out. When Narga is launching spike volleys, it's not safe to heal. And I would much rather be able to heal in safety. But hey, both cats are here, and both are recovering health. Which is good. I like when my cats have health. Helps them stay alive longer. Okay, Narga. Let's get back to this. Shouldn't be long before we get another ride. That'll help us get some work in on the tail. Shouldn't be long at all before we get the tail break. Tail cut's a different story. And surviving is also, unfortunately, a different story. No, why? Why with the spikes? Alright, buddy. Yeah, you sure do like launching those spikes and putting them in places where they are most inconvenient. Alright. So yeah, we'll use this knockdown to do yet more damage to the tail. That is, of course, assuming the tail is where we can hit it during the knockdown. Admittedly, going for the tail is not the most effective strategy if you want to kill this thing fast, because it bounces anything shy of purple. Or maybe it's anything shy of white, but either way, it's a fairly durable hit zone. But getting rid of the tail does make the fight a little easier, and also it gets rid of the tail, which is something that I just plain like to begin with. There we go. Got our hunter art ready. Ow. I don't like being alone with this thing. Well, that got punished quick. So did that. So, we can't visit the base camp anymore except via death. Thankfully, we are allowed one more of those. Though hopefully we won't need it. Because time-wise, we're not doing great. Just under 11 minutes remain. Way to yell and then immediately leave rage. Thanks for turning so that you still managed to get hit by my burst. I really should have sharpened while I was in the base camp. But now looks like it'll work. And we might take a spiking right here. Yep. Let's not get hit by that. Hopefully our cat will give us a nice heal. That would be nice. Hence my usage of the word nice when describing the heal, but nope, heal cat is gone. Ha! Twice in one quest. And isn't it twice in one Narga? And there's our tail. So now we can concentrate all of our firepower on the face, which is where it really belongs anyway. Face and back legs are both good hit zones. Though you know what else is a good hit zone? Not dying. Sure, you might argue that that's not a hit zone at all, but I would argue that it's the most important hit zone. That was not a great sparkly. So yeah, as you can see, those are much smaller now that the tail has been severed. Makes them easier to dodge. I like when things are easier to dodge. Makes dodging them easier. Hooray for tautologies. And we'll go ahead and leave that tail there. Even though I'm pretty sure a tail is exactly what I need to upgrade my weapon. And we're leaving it there because either we succeed or we fail. But the act of gathering it might take just enough time to be the difference between success and failure. Now at this point I'm thinking taking a cart back is actually our most efficient method of getting fully healed right there. So now we're not allowed to cart anymore. I might actually gather that tail. It's tempting. Because at this point, it's actually much more likely that we failed by cart than by time. Because as for large heals, I've just got 2 life powders, 3 mega potions, and some fish that can heal all my red health, so if I take a lot of red damage, then can use those then, but otherwise, yeah. Thank goodness it wasn't going for me, because if it was, I would have taken a hit there. Thanks for the heal, cat. Ooh, and thanks for the immunity to stun. And low-grade roars. Seriously, things... Well, I guess it's not tired anymore, but it was tired for at least a little while, and when it was tired, it still jumped out of that stance super fast. Like, Silverwind Nargas spend hardly any time in that crouched stance that lets you actually use Sonics on them. Problem with the cooked fish that we've got, only like one of Silverwind Narga's attacks leaves behind a lot of red health, and it's one that you're almost guaranteed to get stunned by, which really doesn't help. And it's that second sweep just there. Like, almost everything else Silverwind Narga does doesn't hurt too much on its own. It's just it does so many things so quickly that you're likely to end up taking a bunch of hits over time, whittling your health away like that. Though I guess that does a decent amount. A Mega Potion would heal us from more, but this way we get to save the Mega Potion for a little later. Let's get this tail. What do you know? It's just a regular Nargacuga tail. Not a Silverwind tail or anything like that. Because why would it be anything fancy? 5 minutes to go. We've still got a shot at this. I mean, this thing's got to be getting pretty weak at this point, considering I've severed its tail, I've gotten a knockdown on it from a non-break related source. I've ridden it twice. I've gotten 2 knockdowns on it from the sky. Haven't broken its face yet. That's a little... no, yes I have. Thought I saw 2 eye trails for a moment. So now we're in a pretty bad situation. Our health is low-ish. Our sharpness is very low. And it's angry. So now our health is fine. Now we've got 2 distractions, so sharpening is possible. I'll be on time. Just over 3 minutes. Was not paying attention to my energy. Oh, sure, now it decides to stay in that stance long enough to be knocked over, but we didn't have our Sonics ready. Also, it was enraged, so it didn't matter. Nice heal, cat. Ow. We really needed a flinch there. The flinch is not what we got. Yeah, we're really fighting the clock here. And you jumping over there isn't helping. Ow. So that was something. Still need to do more damage. Need this Narga to actually sit in one spot long enough. Could you just keel over already? That would be great. I don't really have time to heal, and yet I need to, because otherwise that happens. Close, but I don't think we would have made it in time anyway. Yeah, a little disappointing, but at least we managed to last a good long while. Oh, and we had a very small one in there. At least we managed to kill the gold small. So I got something out of that other than just a couple parts. And an episode. I did get one of those out of it. But that episode is now at an end. Join us next time when we take on Barioth. See you then, friends.